The following video was captured by a security officer who just started at a new location. He was patrolling the floors of an old college building, which has been said to be haunted for many decades. Apparently, a student was found in one of the dorm rooms who decided to leave this world several years ago, and people swear that sometimes they can see his spirit roaming the hallways. Before encountering something rather terrifying, we see and hear our guard patrolling in which is what I assume his natural habitat. All of a sudden, we see a shadowy figure disappearing behind the wall, and the man is seemingly in shock. He never found out what exactly this thing was. Perhaps the spirit of the deceased student. Spooky for sure. A video of a security guard who, in the middle of the night, left the safe house to carry out a new surveillance round. A few moments later, he captured something terrifying whilst being on the phone with his wife.
Las estrellas que brillan como tus ojitos viciosos.
Ay, amor, muchas gracias.
Amor, 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 amor.
A shadow
Es que
being.
hay algo ahí. Amor, no. No. Ay.
A short, pitch-black being can be seen at the end of the road, and after realizing that this wasn't a colleague, that was perhaps just pranking him, he freaks out, which I can completely understand. This thing does not look human at all, and the comments state that it might have been perhaps an unidentified creature, but maybe it was also something from another realm, paranormal perhaps. What's your guess? I would have been pretty afraid as well. At approximately 2:30 in the morning, a man recorded unsettling footage from his apartment, documenting a series of strange occurrences that had been troubling him. He reported experiencing an increase in eerie and inexplicable activity in his home, with no apparent source. On this particular night, he was disturbed by persistent knocking at his door, as though an unseen entity was trying to gain entry.
Escuchen esto. Les estoy grabando esto. Son las 2:33 de la mañana. Y estamos completamente asustados. Sí, por estos sonidos. No sabemos qué esté detrás de la puerta, pero estamos muy asustados. Al parecer no se ve nada. Pero y efectivamente, como pueden ver a simple vista, pues no es nadie. Pero se siente como que si alguien me vigilara. Vamos para adentro mejor. Vamos adentro, vamos adentro. Ok. Les grabo esto para que se den cuenta que esto está pasando casi todos los días. Ok, va de nuevo. What?
While he was initially unaware of any unusual visuals, the footage later revealed something disconcerting. A ghostly figure was faintly reflected on his wall-mounted television. The nature of this apparition, whether it is directly linked to the disturbances or represents something else entirely, remains uncertain. However, the footage unmistakably suggests that there is an otherworldly presence within his apartment. One night, while working late, a woman was disturbed by unusual noises coming from outside her house. Curious yet uneasy, she decided to investigate, and what she encountered was nothing short of terrifying.
Kurang tak? Oh. Nak pergi mana? Oh. Nak pergi tangga, nak buat maksiat ni. Mana nak pergi?
After coming face to face with a menacing entity, she retreated into her home, deeply shaken. Not long after, she ventured outside again to check on her neighbors, only to find the same frightening figure. In a panic, she raced back inside, but to her horror, the entity followed her. The video abruptly cuts off, leaving the outcome unknown and shrouded in mystery. The following is a pretty unsettling recording, which has been shared by Carrie E. She has uploaded this video to Reddit in hopes for somebody to help her. She states, "This video is from a camera setup in my ex's bedroom. It's set so that it only records if motion is detected. It detected motion on the TV and recorded this. My daughter, her stepmom, and my daughter's boyfriend have all felt strange since living there. They've all had issues with lights turning on by themselves, or turning on and not being able to turn them off. They've heard voices coming from my daughter's room when my daughter isn't there. Also, my daughter said that when she's in the shower, the rest of the house sounds noisy. Kind of like if there was somebody in the house making a bunch of noise, banging stuff around, and then when she gets out of the shower, all the noise stops. The house has already been saged. Should they sage it again? Move perhaps?"
It didn't even pick up that motion.
We see strange shadow person at the right side of the screen. Apparently, nobody was standing there in the room. And then it just starts to the left and is just gone. Nothing is known about where the shadow originated from. But this doesn't look natural to me. What an eerie encounter. This footage was documented by a night officer from Japan who was guarding an old coal mine in the town of Yubari. In 1985, a gas leak caused a disaster that tragically killed 62 workers there. Today, the town is practically deserted. To preserve some of the town's history, the local government built a museum, keeping the train station with its passenger carriages and special coal transport wagons intact. Stories say these train cars are filled with dark energy from what happened there years ago. This man would end up confirming these stories when he captured something disturbing inside one of the carriages.
で、これ駅ですね。当時のこれが駅でホームだったんですね。あ、開いてる。本当に開いてますね。古い車両となってますが、これ扉閉めますね。
After a lot of unexplained events had been unfolding on the premises, as of late, the department had set up security cameras, which were always checked by their officers for any movement, noise, or anything out of place. This is where things would start to get more chilling. Strange noises began breaking the night's quiet, but the most unsettling were the footsteps that sounded like someone approaching from the end of the carriage. At this point, the guard decided to walk through the carriage with a camera in hand to document. He never noticed that something even more disturbing was caught on camera.
戻って定点カメラだけ一応ね検証という形でやってみようと思います。じゃあ定点カメラの方で検証しますが、まあそういうスポットではないということで何かが映るようなものはないのではないかと思います。なんか音するな。いや、定点をセットしたいと思います。
Right to the side, while he was walking through the carriage, it looked like someone was sitting there. But when the guard heard a sound and turned around, nobody was there. In fact, during his first walkthrough to check if the carriage was empty, there was no trace of anyone. So, what did he actually record? Now we dive into the unsettling encounters of Security 1275, who is sharing his experiences during his nightly shifts as security guard at a local cemetery in Georgia. And there have been a lot of really creepy encounters taking place, to say the least. It all started with a random clip uploaded to his account, on which he was sharing some pretty eerie activity that he experienced, as something seemed to be in the building with him.
So I'm actually hearing something banging on the door. I'm hoping I'm going to catch this son of a bitch. Bear with me, guys. Okay, I'm back. Door was open again. Hello, security!
And after sharing this encounter, Josh, the security guard, uploaded another recording in which we can see him on a routine checkup before encountering something really odd that night.
Hey, kid! Kid! I don't know where he went. This kid's running from me. Kid! Holy God. Where went?
Certainly not your usual security encounter. The kid refused to turn around and kept walking, only to just vanish entirely. Josh didn't know what to do at the time and let the encounter go. Although he was quite baffled, he never found out where the kid went, which is a pretty big mystery for sure. But the night was about to get stranger.
This is supposed to be the most haunted cemetery in Savannah. And I am chasing a kid right now. I will not be going down that way. We just took this job like 2 days ago through the city. This is ridiculous. Somebody has definitely been walking behind me. I'm not sure. I just saw some tourists from Ohio. Told them that the place closes at 10. I'm about to head back over there, but I don't know. We've got somebody that's going to be buried here tomorrow, so I'll be doing an escort. Right now I'm just...
Josh completely missed this mysterious shadow at the time, and it was one of his viewers to point out its existence. The boy we saw earlier was still at large. However, it appears unlikely that he was the one that we are seeing here. Was it a ghost? Or perhaps somebody trespassing? Let's jump a few nights forward, in which Josh was posting another update.
Okay, I've got my taser out now, y'all, just to be aware. Jesus Christ.
After this night, he was spooked out enough to not further document about all these strange encounters for a few nights, but he felt the need to pick his camera back up, as in this particular night he was called up to check on one of his younger and new officers who wasn't responding to his calls anymore.
I was gonna come by and check on him, and I can't get him to answer the phone. So this is a good time. If you see anything, this would be a good little video because I had no intentions of coming out here. I went up and checked on the other side, and I just don't know where the hell he's at, and he's not answering his phone. So I hope whatever was messing with me in my older videos did not get him. I was actually just going to come by and check on him, make sure he was 10-4. But a funny story is, he said that he had PD out here earlier because he saw what looked to be a little girl was in the hallway when he drove by. When he went back, he didn't find anybody.
A bit strange for sure, but since his co-worker couldn't document any of this, some people say that it might have been just paranoia or his colleague getting a bit too nervous and starting to see and hear things, which doesn't sound too outlandish to me. Anyways, we jump forward a few days until Josh updates us with the following material.
What is going on? I'm basically just securing all this stuff right now. Just making sure there's nobody in here. Anybody in here? Hello? Yeah, but listen, you got to get out of here. You're going to have to come talk to me, okay? Where you at? I can't see you. You're correct, so you need to come out, okay? You guys hear this? This is broad daylight. I don't know where this kid is. Where are you?
This all had gotten so weird that Josh decided to file a police report about these incidents, since he wasn't sure if somebody was playing pranks or maybe something more serious was going on. And apparently a police officer came and checked the area out himself. Based on Josh's story, the officer could capture some of this phenomena himself on body camera, but unfortunately it hasn't been made public.
So what is up, you guys? So my security officer that I'm supposed to have here tonight, he came in and turned everything in today. He quit. So I'm actually hearing something banging on the door. I'm hoping I'm going to catch this son of a bitch. Bear with me, guys. Okay, I'm back. Door was open again. Hello, security. Okay. I don't know how they keep opening these. Hello. Yeah. Hey, you need to come out. I'm not playing anymore. I don't know where these people are or where. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. There was somebody standing in the corner. I just saw that when my video uploaded, and what? The lights are flickering on and off. Hang on a second, guys. So, don't know what's going on here, but I'm about to check this out. Okay, guys. I'm really not sure what's going on here. Nope. Yeah, I'm done. This is some spooky going on here. Nope. This is why my security officer quit. Just so y'all can be witness here, I'm checking out. I'm getting here. This is my day off. I hear leaves crickling. Nope. There was a kid standing. Somebody was standing right over here when I walked right past them to the left. So what is going on, you guys? I hightailed it out of there. Don't know what that was. There was absolutely no switches in that place to turn lights on. Don't know why they were flickering. So right now I'm at the Jim Williams house.
Whatever this haunting is seems to get stronger and stronger. However, Josh didn't upload any updates on this creepy activity for a few weeks after this, and it is suspected that he needed to take a little breather from all of this. The night of this recording, however, he had to share what he saw.
So what is going on, you guys? There is a red truck out here. And the chapel lights just came on. Hello? Hey, look, if you're just out here with me, you're fixing to end up in jail, you understand? So where are you? Nope, I'm getting out of here. I'm done with it, man. Nope. Hell to the no. Somebody's out here with me, or this is some scary. I ain't doing this garbage no more.
And this is where Josh's saga of all the paranormal encounters on the cemetery come to an end. Sadly, some say that he quit the job shortly after, while others think that he might have grown bored of staging all these videos. Well, whatever the answer, his case is one of the most infamous ones when it comes to eerie security footage for sure, and rightly so. We now turn our attention to an individual who appeared to be enduring a troubling and possibly sinister presence within the confines of his own home. Details regarding the origin of these disturbances remain scarce. However, it is reported that an unsettling entity seemed to be residing within his shower.
What the hell? In there.
In a fleeting moment, a chilling image is captured, a shadowy figure with two glaringly bright eyes seemingly watching him. The true nature of this presence remains a mystery, leaving us to speculate about its identity. An airplane employee responsible for cleaning aircraft post-landing recorded a video detailing his routine workday. His primary task involves cleaning planes that have just arrived, particularly focusing on the larger aircraft that accumulate significant amounts of trash. While his usual practice is to complete his work and move on to the next plane, one night he decided to deviate from his routine. Instead of leaving the plane after finishing his cleaning duties, he chose to remain on board out of curiosity and for a bit of fun, given that no passengers would be boarding the aircraft for some time. However, this decision quickly turned unsettling. After hiding in the back of the plane, he was startled when he noticed something unusual.
Now I know I'm not dumb enough to lift those shades up because I got my flash on in here. They gonna catch my ass if they see. Yes. I ain't gonna lie to y'all though, it's mad cold in here. And it's dark. I mean, I know it doesn't look that dark on the camera, but it's dark. Let's go! Let's go! Right, sitting on the back of the plane. And y'all probably think I'm insane. Probably think I'm doing this for fame.
As he cautiously approached the front of the aircraft, he was shocked to find the cabin completely empty. Suddenly, without any apparent cause, a seat belt flew out into the aisle as though it had been unfastened by an unseen passenger eager to disembark. The inexplicable movement of the seatbelt terrified him to the point where he hurried back to his hiding spot in the rear of the plane. Hours later, when he finally exited the aircraft, he was visibly shaken. The incident left him deeply unsettled, prompting him to share his experience repeatedly and express regret about his decision to stay on the plane. Despite subsequent investigations, the exact cause of the mysterious occurrence remained unknown.
What the?
Bad Bobby Gamer BBG has noticed some unusual smoke in his apartment besides hearing the strangest noises this morning. He grabs his cell phone to document and to look for help on the internet right after. Since he wasn't an expert in this field, he needed to know what exactly this activity was.
What was that?
Yes, it could be dust or orbs, but he captures something else shortly after.
If you have my landline, you can call me at any time and we can talk. I'm empty.
It appears that a transparent figure is walking across the floor. What do you think? A spirit maybe? Unsettling. After this incident, Marcio did a grave mistake. He got a hold of a Ouija board and dabbled around with it in hopes to contact this being, and in order to find answers. Of course, in doing so, he opened a dark door that he couldn't close anymore. As he returned home from work, he's moving into the living room and experiencing some terrifying activity. And he notices the misplaced Ouija board that now also seems to be traveling on its own accord, a sign that demons are now taking over the apartment. At least that is what many viewers said. Marcio decided that at this point he had to install several security cameras for his own safety and to further document all the spine-tingling activity that took place in there. The activity is still ongoing, and we will keep an eye on this case. This video was recorded by a police officer and his colleague while patrolling in front of a school in Narit at around 3 a.m. They captured what appeared to be two children that were not supposed to be there that late at night. What were two kids doing alone in a school at 3 a.m.? Plus, even though they seem like solid figures, if you look closely, these supposed children seem to have no facial features. Instead, there's just complete darkness. The next video was recorded by a night officer in the Philippines. It was late, around 10:30 at night. The guard who was patrolling tells us that everything started when their dog began barking and howling desperately at something outside the premises they were patrolling. Since the dog wouldn't calm down, the team was worried that an intruder might have entered. They checked the security camera footage and were quite baffled.
Hello guys, Aji ko pala. Ipapakita ko lang sa inyo guys kung ano yung nakuha ng CCTV namin noong 2019 pa. Ayan, October 14, 2019. So, ngayon ko lang siya binidyoan or pinakita sa inyo kasi hinanap ko talaga tong video na to, yung record ng CCTV namin noon sa bahay ng parents ko. So, ayan, ipapakita ko sa inyo guys kung ano yung nakuha ng CCTV namin. Tingnan nyo guys sa 10:29:17. Okay? Tingnan nyo dito, may lalabas dito na parang usok. Tapos mabilis siyang papunta dito. Okay, wait natin mag-17. Okay, wait lang natin 17 seconds. Ayun. Okay, back natin 17. Tingnan nyo dito. Ayun. Kita nyo? Ulitin natin. 17. Ayun, sobrang bilis niya. Tapos yung pangalawang nagpakita siya is 10:30. Tingnan nyo dito, mag-20 dyan. Tapos sa time na to, parang lumalakad na lang siya. Tingnan nyo, parang usok. Tapos nawala siya dito. balik natin. Ayan. Di ba? Sa mga hindi pa naniniwala na may mga espiritu talaga na gumagala sa bahay natin, sa labas man o loob ng bahay. So ito na, nakita ko na.
This shape does this several times and disappears right in front of the camera. This must have been the reason the dogs were alerted. When the team went out to check almost immediately, there was nothing and no one was there. To this day, they have no explanation of what had happened here.